I'm lost. I don't know where my journey ends. I don't know where my life is going. Everything is erupting in chaos. Everything I touch turns to dust. I'm like the opposite. Some people's hands turn things to gold, mine turns them to dust. I don't know where I'm going anymore. My life is literally in chaos, including in Ramadan. What does Allah want from me? I don't understand anything. So, who do we turn to when we don't know anything? When we need to see a pattern? When we need to know what Allah would do for scenarios? Who are the examples? The role models, the messengers of Allah, so the prophets. Exactly. So, put yourself in their shoes. When you read the story of a role model, you don't look at it as a lot of us would look at, which is like a trivia kind of situation, almost like a question. Hey, who is the prophet that was thrown into a well? I know, it was Prophet Yusuf. Don't look at it like a history lesson that you need to memorize. Look at it as a reflection of your tests, because that's who you're meant to follow. So look at it with the image of putting yourself in their shoes and relating your situation to theirs, and remembering that no matter what your situation is, theirs will always be more difficult. And seeing what did Allah do for them and their situation, which you can relate to yours, so you know what Allah is going to do for you. See my point? SubhanAllah. Ever since I started making this dua, my life turned to chaos. I'll be honest, I wish I never made this dua. If I'd known my life would be turning like this, I wouldn't have made this dua. Let's pick a role model. Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam. One of my favorites, because my situation is close to his. See what I mean? And by the way, every role model you'll be able to relate to. But there's one that you can most resonate with. For me, it's Prophet Yusuf and Yaqub. And I think you know why from my video about my tests. What happened ever since Prophet Yaqub kept making that dua? Kept being so sure, yaqeen, that Yusuf will come back. He's not dead. Number one, put yourself in his shoes. Did things become better? No. He lost his vision. What happened next? He kept crying so much, his eyes basically were white from all the tears. Have you ever seen anyone, no matter how much they cry, their eyes are almost white from all the tears? Exactly. What happened next? Did things become better now? No. His own children thought he was crazy and said, "You'll die of sickness if you do not stop mentioning Yusuf so much." And number four, I believe even their wives were mocking him. Everyone was basically like, yeah, he's crazy. Which prompted him to say what? إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله وإني أعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون. I only complain of my sadness and grief to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I know something from Allah that you do not know. Did things become better now? Surely he must have shown his trust in Allah. He stood in the face of the odds and said, I only complain of my sadness and grief to Allah, and I know something from Allah that you do not know. No. He lost his other son, whom I believe his name was Binyamin. So he lost his other son as well. So Yusuf is not even back yet. But keep in mind, we're looking at it from his perspective, okay? So don't look at it from, you already know the result. Yeah, he's going to be reunited with Yusuf. What's your point, Ahmed? Look at it from his perspective. Did he know the future? No. So like you, he just had trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is all that matters, guys. Until finally, what happened? Things kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse, right? Then what happened? All of a sudden, not just Yusuf's back, Binyamin is back. And not just Yusuf, Binyamin is back. Yusuf became the king of Egypt. And not just that. His brothers that wanted to kill him have so much respect for him now, admired him, bowed down to him. Was that it? No, Yusuf was now known as a prophet because they didn't know. Which is a huge honor, by the way. What's next? Yusuf as the king of Egypt, and that's it? No, he's also the vision that started it all. The journey that he said to his father, that one day where he came to his father and said, I dreamed that the sun, the moon, and the stars were bowing down to me. What was that? His vision finally came to fruition. After all of those years, he still remembered that vision. See what I mean? And he finally said to his father, Dad, this was the vision I had envisioned all those years ago. When he saw his father, his mother, and his brothers, all of them, bowing down to him. That's when he knew that was that vision. SubhanAllah. And his father, that was known as the crazy one, the crazy old man, what did he finally say to them? أَلَمْ أَقُلْ لَكُمْ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مِنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ? Did I not tell you that I knew something from Allah that you did not know? SubhanAllah. So what did that prompt him to do? Not only repent to Allah, but understand that Allah's power is beyond our comprehension, even more than what we already thought of him. So it also showed him a lot more trust in Allah because of that test. See what I mean? So what is going to be your version of losing your vision? What is going to be your version of crying and your tears, your eyes becoming white? But your version, so obviously your lesser version, because it won't be the same as the prophets, but can be right under them or under that. So what is going to be your version? What is going to be your version of reunion? What is going to be your version of the king of Egypt? What is going to be your version of his son becoming a prophet? What is your version? Ask yourself this. That's what I'm suffering. That's my life turning into chaos. But I have trust in Allah. So what's going to be my version of that victory? For every role model, you will find the same. Put yourself in their perspective. Don't look at it as a history lesson just to answer some trivia questions or something. You're just memorizing a history lesson. That's not what Allah intended with his stories.